Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So without wasting a little minute, let's start our poem, which is Nissim Ezikel's Enterprises. So basically, when we are talking about the enterprises, let's first of all discuss the relevance of this title enterprises. So enterprise is basically a company or a venture which is started by a group of people, or the sole purpose of starting that particular enterprise is to do some business, to do some profit. Okay, so or to create a building, or to building in sense is to create an organization. So let's start the particular poem. So it started as a pilgrimage. So how it started as a pilgrimage. What pilgrimage is? Pilgrimage is particularly a journey, a religious journey. Like we can say as a Char Dham ki yatra, we often in Hindu culture we do Char Dham ki yatra, we do some other yatra, like our Muslim brothers go on Hajj yatra. So they start the particular journey of creating an enterprises is as on started as a pilgrimage per se, and it started as a pilgrimage, exalting minds and making all the burdens light. It started as a pilgrimage with whom? With exalting minds. Like here, minds represent that it started by a single person. It started by multiple person, because mind is used for plural sense. So what exalting means is, exalting is we can say to think or to speak in a very highly of something. Like we can see knowledgeable people, philosophers, they will conclude the whole sentence in one sentence, and they summarize the lessons of life in one particular sentence. So they are having exalting minds. So we can conclude that exalting minds are people who are having a very high knowledge, or they can speak very highly of particular topic. So they started a pilgrimage, a religious journey with exalting minds, and these exalting minds, when comes together, they are concluding, what they are contributing is they are lightening the burden of what, or the burden of creating an enterprises in a quicker manner. Okay, so the second stage explode but did not test the call. This means the second stage explode, like the group of people, they have discovered the second stage, they went to the second stage, but they did not test the call. That means the particular deadline that they have set up, that they have settled for themselves, they are not able to achieve that particular deadline. The sun beat down to match our rage, and hence the sun beat down. That means the sun started reflecting higher than the particular temperature. That means the sun started increasing the temperature of sunlight, and in order to do what? In order to match our rage, in order to match our anger, in order to match our uncontrollable anger that we are having for creating our enterprises. So this was particular stanza. I hope that it was very clear to you all. Now let's move on to the second stanza. We stood it very well, I thought, observed and put down copious notes. So it stood it very well. Stood, what is the meaning of stood is to stand in an upright position. To stand with having our face uprighted, with using one's feet, like we stand on our feet, keeping our head straight in an upright position. So that particular means how we stood. So we stood very well. We stood very well against whom? Against the sun. I thought, observed, ऐसा उन्हें लगा कि वो बहुत अच्छे से खड़े हैं. But what they after what they seen, that they observed and put down copious notes. That means they observed all things, how is things happening, and they did a copious note. Copious notes means copious. The meaning of copious in a very abundant, which is abundant in supply, or we can say abundant in quantity. So they started gathering some copious notes. They started writing down some copious notes on things the peasants sold and bought. On what they are keeping a copious notes, they are keeping a maintaining, checking a balance on what the peasants are selling and what they are purchasing. Why they are doing so? Because they are running enterprises, and what happens in enterprises is business technically. So they are observing and putting down copious notes on the things that peasants selling and purchasing. The way of serpents and of goats. So this particular line has very great personification for explaining the types of people. Like we do have two types of people. One is kind, and one we can say those who are not loyal. One is loyal, and another one who can be a cheater. So the way of serpent is basically large size snakes. So they are telling us that they understood, they observed both type of the people, one of serpents and one of goats, like one who is loyal and another one goats who are used as a loyal person, and serpents who are used as a non-loyal persons. So three cities where a sage had taught, they like we can say they have started or they have built the enterprises in three cities where a sage is a person who is a sage. A sage is a we can say a profound philosopher who has a great idea, who has a great knowledge about philosophy, life, and about the process of life. So when they moved in three cities, when they have ventured in three cities, then they meet a sage, and what he told him, after getting all the knowledge from the sage, they understood that yeah, we got enough of morals and enough of lessons from the sage. But what happened when they particularly face a problem, when the differences arose on how to cross a desert page? Like आपने ज्ञान तो सारा ले लिया, पर आपने ज्ञान लेकर उसे रखना नहीं है, आपको उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कब करना होगा, जब आपके साथ कोई परेशानी आएगी. सो बट व्हेन द डिफरेंसेस अरोज ऑन हाउ टू क्रॉस अ डेजर्ट पेज, सो डेजर्ट हियर इज रिफर्ड एज अ प्रॉब्लम. Like why we are referring desert as a problem here, because usually in desert what we can say, a person suffers because we don't have plenty of resources over there. We are suffering for food, for hunger, we are suffering for water. So therefore it is referred as, when we are into the position of a desert. So at that particular moment they are not able to understand how to tackle this particular situation, and then at that particular moment they lost a friend whose stylish prose was quite the best of all our batch. So they are trying to refer that they have lost a friend. Which kind of friend? Who has a stylish prose, who has a best prose. Here stylish prose can be understood as a person who is creating a rhyme in a paragraph, a rhyme in an enterprise. We can say he is trying to create a balance, he is trying to coordinate with all. So in this particular situation, in this particular problem of desert, they lost a friend, was quite the best of all our batch, who was the very best from their batch. A shadow falls on us and grows. So they are saying that they are under a shadow, यानी कि उनको एक अंधेरे में वो गिर चुके थे और वो अंधेरा उन पे गिरा हुआ था और वो हट नहीं रहा था. It is growing over time. So another phase was reached when we were twice attacked. So that was the first phase, when they lost a friend, when they are in desert. That was the first problem. Now they are attacked with the second problem. They are twice attacked and lost our way. And in this particular problem, what happened with them is they lost their way. A section claimed its liberty to leave the group. Now what happened? A particular, like we can say, section in a group, like of maybe that section consisted of 3 to 4 people or maybe 2 people. Now what this section started doing, they claimed their liberty, they claimed their freedom. They said that we have a freedom to move, we have a freedom to leave the group, and they did that. And what they did, they reclaimed their liberty and they tried to leave the group. I tried to pray. The poet tried to pray. To pray what? To pray God that please don't destroy this group. To pray them that please don't leave the group. Our leader said he smelled the sea. So here our leader said he smelled the sea. That means the leader is getting a sense of victory. He is thinking that okay, the sea is near to us. That means when you are stuck in a desert, what is the one thing you crave for the most? You crave for water. You need water at that particular moment the most. So here our leader is saying that he's getting the smell of sea. That means the victory is closer to us. We noticed nothing as we went. हम जैसे जैसे बढ़ते गए हमें कुछ नहीं दिख रहा था. We are not able to observe. We are not able to notice anything. A straggling crowd of little hope. We are what? A straggling crowd. Straggling is we can understand straggling as something or someone who is walking in a slower manner, who is walking slower than the actual speed. So a straggling crowd of little hope. What we have become? We have become a straggling crowd of little hope. A little hope of for what? For sea, for the victory. Ignoring what the thunder meant. We are now very much pondered. We are very much pondered upon the victory, that we are ignoring the fact that there is some thunder, there is some heat. We have ignored all these things, and we are deprived of common needs like so. Deprived, what does deprived means to getting detained, not detained, to getting prevented. from achieving something or from getting something. So we are deprived of our common needs like soap. We are not having our common needs like soap. Some were broken, some were madly bent, like some were broken, मतलब आधे से ज़्यादा लोग क्या हो गए थे, टूट गए थे. Some were madly bent. Some were madly bent means some are bented, like not in a proper straight manner. Their backbone is twisted, their backbone is curved. When finally we reached the place, we hardly know why we were there. The trip had darkened our every face. So now when they finally reach to the place, they reach to their success, when they finally reach to their destination, which they are struggling for. And what the irony is, they don't know, they hardly know why we were there. Like, even after all this struggle, and now they are getting the success, but they are not happy. They are not happy because of what? The trip had darkened every face. Because the trip had darkened, the trip has made the face more darker than actual. So our deeds were neither great nor rare. What does deeds means? Deed is something we can understand as a legal document, like to transfer ownership of a property of a business, of property of a land. So our deeds were neither great nor rare. So our business, which we have tried to build from a pilgrimage to a desert, and now to our victory place, to like for our final destination, which is sea, we understood that our deeds were neither great nor rare. Home is where we have to gather grace. So in the end, the author, the poet tells us that the home is where we have to gather grace, when we have to do things in a slower manner, in a smooth manner, in a controlled manner, not in some place where we are getting tottered upon, we are getting scrabble, not in a place where disintegration is on peak. So in the end, the author is trying to tell us that it's a human nature. It's human nature to do distrust, to do disintegration. But what is the crux of this particular poem is to maintain a sense of unity, a sense of togetherness in every enterprises. And in this particular poem, what we are able to see, like even after getting success, the people who got success, they are not happy with their success, because they are not able to find this their home. They understood that home is not a place where there is success. Home is a place where they have the people they love, where they have the people of their dream, the people of their ambition, the people who brings them happiness, not the place that brings them happiness. So this is what enterprise is all about. So I hope I tried to explain it in a very good manner. And if you think that and this explanation was good, you can subscribe me, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.